Hello, today we're going to be knitting and I'm going to show you how to do the garter stitch using only the purl stitch. The yarn that I'm using is Red Heart with Love. The needle size I'm using is a US 8 or a 5.0 millimeter. To do the garter stitch using the purl stitch, you're going to purl a row, you're going to turn your work and then purl another row. And you're just going to keep doing that for this pattern. To begin, we're going to have our yarn to the front of our work, and we're going to go ahead and do our purl stitch. So you want to pick up that stitch and do your purl. And you're going to do this all the way across. And the garter stitch is interesting in that you can knit it or you can purl it. If you knit on both sides or if you purl on both sides, it's going to look the same. So I've just finished one row of purl. I'm going to go ahead and turn my work. So this is now my left needle. And I'm going to purl again. So bring the yarn to the front. And the reason why it's the same whether you do a knit on both sides or purl on both sides is that knitting and purling are the reverse stitch of each other basically. When you're knitting, you have a V teardrop shape on the front and you have a bump on the back. The bump on the back is a purl stitch. When you're purling, you have the bumps on the front and the V on the back. So the V on the back is a knit stitch. So when you have finished and you're doing either purls or knits on both sides to get your garter stitch, then you're going to have both knits and purls on both sides of your work. So these bumps are the purl stitches. And when you stretch, you have the V shapes. Those are the knit stitches. And when you turn your work, it looks exactly the same. It's a reversible. That's what makes the garter stitch a reversible stitch. It's also a little bit stretchy, so it's a good stitch. And that is how you do the garter stitch using the purl stitch.